Real.
Hey, great Saturday evening. And just to put my friends' doubts to rest, guys, please, the mascot.
Oh, Erasmo just got out. We were joking about the mascot um, issue being real or not. So Junior Rodriguez, the Pace Viking koala, is just a joke. It's something that we have to have a little bit of humor at Osmo. It's unfortunate that people are taking this way overboard and saying, "Oh well, this is a farce," or "You're being negative," and we love our Pace Vikings. We love all our schools, guys. It's just something that we're just having a little bit of fun with it, Osmo.
Why Porter Penguins? Why not something like Porter Polar Bear? Well, because because Penguins was what I call La Minerva, the board president, and she thinks she came from Porter. She's not from Porter. He been proud que es de la Porter. Me vale. But no, man, it was all in fun. But again, everyone takes it the way they want to. It doesn't matter. Saludos, guys. Hey, good evening. Joe, what's up, my man? What's up, Robert? 92 more cases for Cameron County. Yes, and that's one of the things that we were going to mention. 54 from Brownsville. Youngest is 9-year-old female, and male total 1,546. Very bad numbers. Gracias. Buenas noches, Mike. Hey, Mike, I noticed that you were out there watching the Trump rally. I actually saw it on your page, and I thought it was kind of cool. Échale ganas con Trump, Mike. No hay problema. Como que te queremos. Hey, Martita hermosa, ¿cómo estás? I get thanks, my man. Love you. Good evening, Pat. How's it going? Thank you for coming in. Hey, Chris. Good evening, guys. God bless you, Pati. ¿Cómo estás? Good evening, Jennifer. Buenas. We love you so much, bro. I love you all, and you know that. Love you to death. Pace picante sauce. Hey, friends. ¡Bob! Haciendo una carne asada viéndolos. Invita a Vicente. Hola, Yesenia, ¿cómo estás, Jose Yesenia? Do you know if the doctor from Harlingen got into trouble for the video? I don't think he got in trouble. I mean, I think he's just a general practicing or self-practice or so. I guess he won't get in trouble. Golden Eagles for life. Seniors of 85. Hey, I'm a class of 85. Was supposed to be class of 85. ¿Qué rollo con el pollo, Jesús? Hay que reír un rato. Amen. Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going? I love that new picture you put up. What's up? You're not a Trump fan. No, Mike was watching Trump. ¿Qué onda, Tony? What's up, Christian? Good evening, guapos. Good evening. I try to learn as much as I can. He kisses his own. Yes. So fancy. The background is that. I don't know. House of Versailles? Yeah? Is it really?
Yes, I'm fancy.
Oh, with a Rivera place good. Oh, let me tell you, Martita. Thanks so much. The plates were amazing. But food out there is so good. Is so good. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Good evening, Juan Pan. Hey, Paul, what's going on, man? Saludos, Armando. Keep up the great work. Thank you, God bless you. Raimundo, buenas noches. Mike Pineapple, good one. Pace picante sauce. Te mando saludos, Elber Galarga. Saludos, Elber. Hola, Noel. ¿Cómo estás, capa? Oh, is that a bad one? Hey, Vicente. Hey, hi, Brandon. What's up, my man? El Brandon Davis. Hey, Sandy. Good Saturday evening from the Rancho de mi Harlingen. My tie's on fire. Good evening, Liz. Good evening. Everyone's coming in. And that nickname do you have for Hannah? Hannah the Hamburglers. Hamburglers. Now I want Pace Picante sauce shirt. Hey, let me tell you, it can happen. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Guys, again, going back into the numbers very, very quickly. The numbers are bad. I did post them up there. We did receive them a little bit before Cameron County. I guess that motivated Cameron County to throw out the numbers before, which is okay, Cameron County. Again, there's more than one way to skin a cat, bros. But again, go ahead, man. I'm appreciating that you're coming out a little bit faster with the numbers. Again, 92 for Cameron County. Good evening, David. God, primo, ¿cómo estás? 92 for Cameron County. 54 for Brownsville. So anyone out there that was asking questions in regards to, well, Erasmo, were all those 100 cases that you said that were going to happen? They're right there. Again, it's not that that they're not happening, guys. The problem is that the county is reporting them out there very, very slow. And again, they may have the reasons for reporting slow. We do not know. But with that said, it'd be good for them to try and explain why is it that they're so slow on the numbers. With that said, yesterday we made mention of it. We may mention it again. Alta Vista has joined the list of nursing homes here in Brownsville. Guys, we're in trouble. Again, we learned yesterday that the state of Texas was going to come in to see what is going on to try and put a stop before it gets any worse in regards to the nursing homes. It's a bad situation all around. What I find very, very sad is Port Isabel. Port Isabel Service Processing Center. 53 detainees. 53 detainees and 7 employees. Now, I want to dwell on that a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Think of it. Cameron County is slow in reporting the numbers. We've already reported that at Fox Hollow, we have, let me go, 25 patients and 22 staff. How many are they reporting right now on there, Frankie?
As of right now, they're reporting 5 employees and 13 residents as of right now.
So I mean, more than half. Fox is already reporting 25 patients and 22 staff and 1 fatality, 1 person that has died. And you look at Cameron County's report, and there is nothing in regards to the death. And again, that is something that we're going to find out about in a week, 2 weeks. Again, guys, they need to speed up the number process. We need to know these numbers. We need to have them. The community needs to have them. They need to be confirmed and shared with the community. It's not a good thing. Again, I don't agree with them hiding the numbers. What England do you have? Already did that. I don't agree with him hiding the numbers. It really, really is uncalled for. Carlos, what do you feel about the numbers?
They're crazy, and they're getting worse every day. I mean, it's getting to the point to where anywhere you turn, anywhere you go, you're going to run into someone who is a possible carrier of this virus. I mean, it's just happening. I mean, just that quick, and it all because they opened the floodgates, And now, how are you going to close those floodgates? You can't close the floodgates anymore. And so, what's going to happen now is you're going to be like China. Everybody's going to have to be wearing masks everywhere they go.
Well, I think we're already at that point where we have to wear masks everywhere we go.
Yeah, but you still have people who don't wear them. But now businesses are requiring them. If you want to do business inside their establishments, you're going to be obligated to put on a mask. If not, you're not going to go in. And a lot of people that are obligating their customers to do that.
Well, let me tell you, I think it happened in Harris County. In Harris County, we've got no shoes, no shirt, no service. That is the type of order that we need here in Cameron County. It's the type of order that we need here in the city of Brownsville. No shoes, no shirt, no service. No shoes, no shirt, no face coverings, no service. That is right. It's got to be modified. We need a little bit more decisiveness out there.
In regards to the numbers, guys, it's very telling. We had a doctor a couple of days ago come on and said that the COVID-19 pandemic or crisis is, behind us. We had a press release from, the hospital stating, hey, we don't agree with what was said by our physician here. And we've had Dr. Cerdan, who is going to be on with us on Tuesday to talk about the recent spike in numbers. So Tuesday night, Dr. Cerdan will be with us. So again, we have medical experts stating that, there is a rise for concern in regards to these recent spike in numbers. It's very telling, we don't get Port Isabel, we don't get South Padre Island. I recently saw in the news, Valley Central, Channel 4, that South Padre Island right now is a hotspot for the COVID-19 pandemic. So again, 92 cases for today. And Brownsville's cases are very, very scary. 9-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds, a lot of students. And again, the age brackets again only leads us to believe that. We, in my opinion, we are in for the worse. I feel like if we should either shut it down for 2 weeks, or if not, this first peak is going to keep on stretching. Now we keep on asking ourselves, when exactly, is this first peak going to end? And the more interactions we have, the more large gatherings that there are, the more testing that there's going to be. It's only a matter of time before this 1,400 cases probably doubles. So in my opinion, this is very alarming. It's affecting people from all ages. We have not seen the proper contact tracing, in my opinion, because I've spoken to people who they've just told them and said, oh, yeah, you tested positive, good, goodbye. And I thought that the proper protocol was, who were you with, what interactions have you had lately, and things like that. So it's very alarming, guys.
Hello, Mr. Erasmo. I read the rant about you in the Brownsville Herald. Really? The Brownsville Herald put something out on me again? People who don't watch your show regularly would not get the prank or understand your sat on the shirt? You're joking. I haven't even seen it. That's how insignificant the Herald is to most individuals. But again, if they don't put Erasmo's name out there, they're not selling any papers or they're not getting any likes or shares. So more power to them. Take a couple 15 minutes. But really, people, we'll talk about the shirts in a little bit. But goodness gracious alive. Please, businesses, let customers know that when you have employees testing positive, oh, yeah. That is one of the other issues that I think is very prevalent. I mean, I'm getting flooded with messages from a lot of individuals out there that are saying, hey, guys, our coworkers, they're testing positive and businesses are trying to hide it under the table. Local businesses, I love you to death, will support you to death. Do what Chili's did. They decided to come up front with it and deal with it and move forward. Y'all need to start doing the same. Do not hide positive cases. Do not force people to come into work, even despite the fact that you know that they've gone to get tested. It is irresponsible. It will not look well for your organization or your company to be doing stuff like that. And also, someone was asking about my red tongue. It's Bianca's Spicy Delights. Bianca's Spicy Delights provided snacks for me to eat tonight. So I'm surely taking advantage of them. Good evening. Ya no es COVID-19. Es el Kung Flu. Kung Flu. I saw that tonight. Did anyone else see that? Or just me? He called it the Kung Flu. The Kung Flu. Bendigo Trump. Hi, guys, from Galilea Salazar. The Lopez Lobos. No, the Lopez Lollipops. In the house. Carlos. Te saludan, Carlos. Barrón.
Saludos.
Pura penguin. Good evening, Monica Hermosa. ¿Cómo estás? Why burglars for Hannah? Someone came up with that name. It's just Hannah.
It was Maida's fault.
Maida was the one that came out. Hey, Leah, they got here before you did. Good evening, Bennett. The Hannah Montanas. No quemaku. Si quemaku. I have my sister in Spanish Meadows, and I miss her. I haven't seen her since March. Let me tell you, and I think Spanish Meadows, I mean, again, we don't know because of the numbers. I think Spanish Meadows has plateaued a little bit in regards to that. I'm more concerned about Fox Hollow now that, I was speaking to my individuals out there at the health department today. I had a long conversation with them, guys, and I made mention that we need to be very careful here in the city of Brownsville because the numbers have exploded at Fox in a much faster way than they did at Veranda. I mean, at a much, much faster rate. And again, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And, one of the other factors that's coming out there, guys, no more toilet paper at Walmart and Los Fresnos. And, guys, please be careful in Los Fresnos. If y'all are testing positive out there, guys, at our Walmart in Los Fresnos or any other place, please, guys, don't let me find out about it the wrong way, please. One of the other things is it's very, very telling in regards to the reports, as the ones that came out today and the one that came out yesterday, the day before yesterday, are the 20-year-olds. I mean, what do the 20-year-olds tell us, Carlos?
20 years is the problem with the 20 years is that they think they're invincible, and I think a lot of the increase in the numbers is in that younger population because they went out, of course, man. Being confined to your home for 3 or 4 months, And then they open up the floodgates, they open up the bars, they open up these places where these kids like to congregate. I mean, what's going to happen? They're not going to be there as social distancing. They're going to get as close as possible, give each other hugs. You know how the our Mexican culture is: hugs, kisses, and and just as close as possible, and sharing. They do a lot of sharing. Some of these kids were sharing drinks and sharing beers, and I think a lot of it has to do with that.
Well, one of the thing, buenas noches, amigos. Neck is looking nice, Erasmo. Thank you, Papa. Actually, I, I want to do a little bit more. They said that it take like 2 to 3 weeks.
Then
But
you're gonna look like Drew Brown's neck.
ah! They said it was going to be 2 to 3 weeks. At least you didn't say Minerva's other thing, Nick. It's gonna take 2 to 3 weeks because they put in the needles, so it's está un poquito hinchado. So hopefully it goes down a little bit. And if it doesn't, you better believe I'm going back to make sure that I get it tucked in a little bit more.
No puede hacer algo aquí.
No, it's impossible. Y'all want to talk about the death rate of COVID being? No, Aaron, and we'll talk about that again. One of the things that we made mention, Aaron, is that the one death, losing one death is bad enough. Again, we're just concerned in regards to the individuals that are having to go through, having to go through the loss. That's the only thing that we're concerned about. And if we could avoid one death, even that 0.03 death, Aaron, that'd be great, man. I mean, let's say it is 0.03. Let's say it's 0.0001. That's fine. If we can avoid that 0.0001, let's do it, man.
I disagree. I concur with Aaron Garcia's comment, but in regards to the press release by that doctor from Harlingen that said, COVID is behind us, Dr. Christopher Romero stated that Cameron County as well as Hidalgo County has been seeing a significant rise in cases and across the Rio Grande Valley as well. And he states that the mortality rate in Cameron County is higher than the state average, than the state and national average. So even though that we are not getting as much cases compared to the size of the population, my argument would be that Carlos, we are just getting into the thick of things of testing. So for this doctor to state, the Dr. Liebert, we don't agree with what he said, because due to the rise in numbers, the mortality rate here in Cameron County is higher than the state and the national average.
I'm very upset with all this going on in nursing homes. I agree, Normita. And our administrator is responsible to check all the staff before coming in. It is mega ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, I'm eating all from the candy from I forgot the name. It's great candy. I'll say it again in a little bit. It is ridiculous, but my concern, Norma, my concern is, why didn't we learn from Harlingen, guys? Why didn't we learn from Harlingen? Let me tell you, one of the things that we've been saying since we learned about Veranda, even before the county reported it, when we started talking about Veranda, we said, guys, we have to be very, very careful. When I spoke with the city of Brownsville in regards to what could happen in the city of Brownsville, I stated, guys, it could go from Harlingen, from one nursing home to another nursing home, and boom, that's what it happened. It could go from Harlingen Veranda to Windsor Atrium and then come to Brownsville. And that's exactly what happened. We should have learned. We should have been a little bit better prepared. Why isn't it that were not proactive in regards to stopping this? And let me tell you, I did learn that in regards to Fox Hollow, it came from one person. Again, one employee coming in and bringing it in to the nursing home as a whole. That's a big issue. Again, the problem is economic development in our area. We don't have economic development in the area where individuals have good paying jobs. When you don't have good paying jobs, you got individuals working one job at another job at another job, and the possibility of spreading the virus that way, of spreading any disease.
And on touching on that, just piggybacking on on what you're saying, is that what's happening now is, like, I've been getting a lot of and not just me, they just put it out there. There's such a shortage of healthcare providers, RNs, LVNs, and stuff like that, that they were increasing the amount that they want to pay these people, because of the risk, the high risk. I just saw just earlier today that they want to pay someone $60 an hour to go into a nursing home. I'm not going
Wow.
to mention what nursing home it is, but obviously we can, put two and two together and figure what it is, because a lot of these nurses don't want to go back into those facilities because there is such a high, virus load in those places that they're just scared to go in there. So what do? They increase the amount of money that they're going to be able to come in so they can risk their lives to go in there because otherwise they're not going to go in. They're being drugged and they're being burnt out. The people who are there right now trying to make a difference for these people. So the only way to be able to attract individuals, just like they did in New York, but here locally, is to pay someone $60 an hour to go in there.
Erasmo, you had previously mentioned it, and you talked about a couple days ago in regards to the first Brownsville death didn't get reported a week after or 2 weeks after. What would be the argument, or why do you think Cameron County is delaying in reporting Fox Hollow's accurate numbers? Could it be that they're trying to reach out or do the contact tracing, or what would you say is the delay in this?
Well, I don't understand why there would be any contact tracing whatsoever. I mean, you already know that the patients have been in containment. I mean, people haven't been able to visit their loved ones for weeks now. So what contact tracing is there in regards to patients that are actually in the nursing homes already? They're already locked up in there. And again, they haven't had contact with anybody else outside except the individuals that we know for a fact are employees that actually have the virus. So I understand why they want to do contact tracing in regards to the employees, but contact tracing in regards to the
deaths,
to the individuals, the residents that are there, doesn't make any sense. And still, the numbers are a lot lower than what they are in everywhere else. Sorry, en mi piedra te la quitaron. Se pasa la gente de Brownsville. Actually, it was a lot of people that were not from Brownsville that were involved in that. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. The government hacked your phone, COVID-19, checked your vote. Now, it's something that was implanted. It's talked about.
Yeah.
But again, the numbers are pretty bad. In regards to students are not dying from the COVID, they may not be dying yet. Again, we just don't know, Rodney. Let me tell you, a 26-year-old dentist from Matamoros passed away. A 26-year-old dentist. And again, this is an individual who is well prepped in regards to precaution, to safety, well versed in regards to some part of the anatomy, even if it's in the mouth, because he's a dentist. But again, these individuals have to deal with these things on a daily basis. The guy passed away. And I spoke with some doctors from Matamoros, and they are very, 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 very concerned. Sorry. It was on Brownsville Herald Facebook page. Well, yeah, they make me famous. And I don't know what's this Brownsville Herald they speak of. I have no idea. I think they use it to line their bird cages with or something. Yes, I saw the Google settings. That's crazy, dumb. Hola, Belinda, guapos. 5492 from Brownsville, 6292, under 40 years old, 41. Someone mentioned in regards to the ones at Starr County. 102 for Starr County. That's 300% increase. You're right, Irineo. It's very, very devastating. Again, the numbers don't lie. What's wrong? Brownsville Herald posted something on Erasmo, but won't post anything on Sylvia Atkinson. Sylvia! Carlos, have you heard of anything going on with Sylvia's case, Carlos?
No, the Brownsville Herald hasn't put anything out yet.
It makes me wonder, guys, and I may be shooting shooting more than I can handle, but this leads me to believe, are people involved in high places? Why is the Herald so quiet in regards to this federal case? This would be making national news, should be making local news. But again, we depend on the bloggers. We depend on Brownsville Talk to hear of the upcoming cases, of the upcoming hearings of Sylvia Atkinson. So I don't know, guys. It's very alarming. Erasmo Castro had a misdemeanor and he was plastered. He was lynched by the mob, so to speak. But an individual who was taking money from federal agents allegedly, she's nowhere to be seen. So again, that just leads me to believe either people are telling them to look the other way, or maybe some big players are involved in some way or another, unfortunately.
I think Erasmo is on drugs, or that's just how he is. No, that's just how I am most of the time. I'm on a sugar rush from uh, Bianca's Spicy Delights, and they're really really good. All firefighters are waiting for tests. Firefighter Frankie Rodriguez was asking Dr. Ed Hernandez, "Do you have the?" This Carlos sounds familiar. I'm willing to pay. These firefighters are desperate for a safe fire chief, ignoring them. And the unit president, Jorge Lema, is absent. It's very again one of the things that's very concerning. Again, is for our firefighters and all our first responders out there. You know, guys, they got to protect your first responders, and it is the responsibility of not only the fire chief but the city commission and the mayor, the city of Brownsville, the city manager. Guys, these are the guys that are out there on the front line, and when they have an absent fire chief or they have an absent president of the union out there that's supposed to be fighting for their rights, it's very very concerning. It shouldn't be. Véndeme tu scooter, quiero uno. ¿Dónde lo consiguió usted? Amazon or a Sam's in Harlingen? Yes, it was a joke, people. It was a joke. Justin, I still can't get tested, and that's because I got exposed to someone at work. I'm still waiting to pay 300 or more. But the thing is, well, I'll take your $300 and I'll give you a test.
I was hearing, guys, that people in San Benito and La Feria area, they were waiting in line for hours, and then right to about the time that they were going to get tested, they said, "Oh, we ran out." So I hope as Cameron County, does have a plan in place so we can have this continuation of testing. So it's pretty alarming for us locally here to be running out of tests. I hope that's not the case.
Well, I mean, it's going to get to the point where they really really can't find any more tests. Here comes Father's Day tomorrow. Justin's 100% right. I mean, the next celebration is going to be tomorrow. I mean, I've already heard of a lot of individuals having carne asadas, carne asasos, and different little parties to celebrate their father. I mean, what's going to be very, very unfortunate if a lot of these individuals have these events to celebrate their father, and all of a sudden their father gets contracted, gets, COVID-19 because of these gatherings. Y'all keep shopping at Walmart. I'm shopping at Jovitas again. Pues Jovita ya tiene el Maserati. Pues, ¿qué más quiere Jovita? I'm surprised Jovita still is open. Hello, guys. Thank y'all for all the info. Thank you. God bless. You got my kids addicted to saying, "Shut up, stupid."
Merch coming.
It is coming. I'm very upset. My son's coworker was feeling ill for 2 days at work. She finally went home to get tested. Yes, she tested positive, is in ICU. It's madness, guys. It's madness what's going out there. And it's worse in regards to that individuals aren't taking the care that they're supposed to be taking. Hello, Pedro. How's it going? Kimberly, ¿cómo estás? Today, I went out for the first time since March 17th to the bar, the drive-thru. Before I got the window down, I put my mask on. I used a napkin to punch my code. The car on the left side of me put his window down and started calling me all kinds of names because of my mask and the use of napkins. It was ridiculous. I can't post this on the thread because my daughter doesn't let me. Maybe you could say this. I didn't know you had a daughter, Frankie. Passed through a softball field and it was packed. No masks, no social distancing whatsoever. Well, that's the other thing that's going to start to come into effect. I mean, a lot of the schools are already planning their athletic program. And, that's one of the reasons why they permitted students to come back onto campus to do conditioning and training and practice and the band as well. And in the middle of all that, kids started coming out positive. And then they shut it all down again. Carlos, was it a good idea to bring back the kids for condition training?
Of course not. I think the intent was to bring back some normalcy, but you can't do that, especially with this. You just don't know what's going on with this COVID, or who's infected, who's not infected. So I think that was a big mistake on BISD's part, is to allow all these kids to go back and congregate. Again, you go back. I passed by Rivera High School when they were doing that. The kids are out there, man. They're socializing. They got their mask down underneath their chin, right, Erasmo? And they're talking to each other, and they're there. They're not social distancing. And so I think what happened was that because of that, you had those spikes now, and you have the spikes in the population where they're high school students. You see these kids are getting infected at an alarming rate. So what's going to happen? They're like Frankie was saying. I think you were saying, there's the tests are scarce now. You got about 300 or 400 cars in line to go get tested. It's like when you go to get barbacoa and you're in line, and then once you're up to the counter, hey, guess what? There's no more. But you waited 3 or 4 hours to get there. In this case, it's a little more drastic because it's life threatening, whether you have it or you don't, and it's affecting people psychologically because now those individuals that weren't able to get tested don't know if they have it. So now they're going to have to go back home, race back again when they do it again to see if they're one of the few, or like they say the Willy Wonka, the one with the golden ticket, you know. And guess what? What happens to those individuals if they didn't get tested, but they are positive, and they go back and they go and socialize with their family members and get those people infected? So you're playing now with people's lives. I think what they should have done is said, you know what, we have 300 tests. We're going to take the first 300 people to get here, and everybody else go home and wait. Give them a number for tomorrow. Give them a number for later, because what's happening is now you're going to have everybody bum rushing just like they did at HEB and Sam's, and take all the toilet paper. So you have a lot of chaos.
There is a lot of chaos, and again, eh, and one thing seems to lead to the other. Again, because of the misinformation, because of the horrible decisions that a lot of these individuals have made, uh, you know, uh, then all of a sudden everyone starts losing it, man. They start losing it, and they start going crazy. They start going crazy in regards to going to the stores, and again, not maintaining social distancing, and again, placing their loved ones in harm's way. And
Sure,
one of
put
the
that-
things, Monday.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's creating that chaotic environment that we had, what, 3 or 4 months ago when it first started, and everybody's rushing to go get the supplies to keep their family. If this thing shuts everything down again, it's creating a lot of. There's gonna be a lot of people with post traumatic stress disorder, especially the caregivers, especially the nurses at the hospitals, the doctors, and stuff like that. Your teachers, of course, are gonna have some type of rebound right now because they're gonna be at home. Before, they were being forced to be at school, but you have everybody else now with his current board not telling people what they're going to do, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that later, right? The budget for BIZ and the teachers and all that stuff. So I'll refrain my comments for that time.
Uh, I'm going to answer this again, Roman, and again,
I'll answer it as well. Go for it, Erasmo.
I'm going to answer this again, Roman, and I'll answer it but I've already answered it. You've submitted the question. I've answered it publicly, but I'm going to answer this again. I have posted in regards to Linebarger. I posted before the vote even came out. I posted exactly what the vote was going to be. If you were not here, you did not listen. That is your problem.
Wake
Roman.
up, Roman.
It is not our problem, Roman. Now, again, I've answered this question several times. I'll answer it again. No one has posted more about Lineberger on their public page more than myself in regards to anyone in the political circle or any other vendor for that matter, for that fact. But if you want to think that I shy away from posting information in regards to vendors, you are very, very mistaken, Roman. Why I'll do that. It's again, but I'll answer every question. That was a statement that was an anonymous post. Roman, if you ever have any question whatsoever,
Just
ask, ask the question, baby. That's all you have to do, honey. Just ask the question, and I will ask the question. Now, if you are going to have to go through an anonymous post in order to try and attempt to ask a question, was that's your call and your choice. But man up a little bit. Ask any question that you have. You could call Channel 5 again. You could call Channel 4 again, and you could ask them to come file another report. Whatever you all want to do, that's fine. I don't care. But ask a damn question.
In regards to my name and my relationship, I'm a single man. Ladies, message me, call me. I'm on the market. You know, we all know what was going on with this issue. Sylvia back in 2016, 2018, was trying her hardest to get a certain tax collecting firm into BISD. Now we all know that she had her hand in the cookie jar. Was this firm Purdue giving her money? I don't know. Maybe it's up for discussion. So this was in the works in 2018. My relationship with this woman, it's over and done with. Roman, if you could have asked me, but hey, your true colors are showing. It's all cool, man. So No, I'm not. I'm not with nobody. And no, who are we to say how Erasmo would vote? It's that's kind of that's insinuating something that it's hypothetical. So no, I'm not with the Roman, and no, we have no idea how Erasmo would vote.
No, I went us and y'all. What's y'all thought of today's protest? We'll do the rock next. There was like 30 people out there, and I would dare to say that a big old chunk of those individuals weren't even from Brownsville. Weren't even from Brownsville. Now, if anyone from Brownsville wants individuals that are not from Brownsville to come and dictate what Brownsville people, what Brownsville city commissioners, what the Brownsville mayor should do, then maybe you should be sitting on the city commission, because they caved to a little thing that was going out throughout the country in regards. And now, what I've said about the rock, I'll say it again. It's just a rock. It's just a rock. A piedra. People made all this hoopla for. Ay, se me cayó el dulce. For a damn rock.
3 seconds.
Hey, it's still good. For a damn rock.
5-second rule.
For a damn rock.
Quítale los pelos del gato.
Back in my office. Okay. Guys, and look at what's happened throughout the country, guys. Statues of Washington, and we called it here. I mean, what's next? Are they going to start to remove the names of the streets? That's their next move. George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams. Are those the ones that are next to be, our parks names? I mean, the Rock was on Washington Park. Why didn't they protest changing the name of Washington Park into something that was a more, I guess, more PC for them? Goodness gracious. Well, let me tell you what they did after the protest. After the protest, they walked all the way to Robert E. Lee Youth Center out at TSC, because that's their next goal, for them to change the name of the Robert E. Lee Youth Center thing at TSC. So, guys, when does it stop? You give them an inch, and city commission, you cave to them. You give them an inch, and then you're never going to stop them ever again.
Erasmo, pertaining to BISD, very quickly, guys. Charles Stillman owned slaves. There is a school after him. Is that our next step? Is that what we're going to? Again, I'm all in favor of racism, against racism, combating and trying to take away anything that has to deal with it. But if we're going to do this for one, I think we have to do it across the board, in my opinion.
Carlos, what you take on the rock?
It's a rock, bro. It's a rock. You're the individual is the one that gives it, the authority. Just consider it a rock, like you've been saying. It's just a rock. I mean, doesn't have a voice, doesn't have the ability to speak. It's the amount of time that an individual gives it. In this case, the whole commission, even the mayor, gave it importance. And what it's like you said, they took the rock away. Okay, they took it. What else are they going to go after? You got schools that are named under individuals who own slaves. You have buildings that are named, for individuals who are not in the best interest of history, if you want to look at that. So where is it going to stop? Streets, names, schools, buildings. What are we going to do?
It's not
then
going
to go back, and then they can go back again. If you name a school or you name a street for some Hispanic individual or Mexican, then you're going to have the whites saying that it's racist, and then it's going to be an all-out war, and you're never going to win. You're going to end up having sides for everything instead of everybody coming together.
In regards to Rodney's statement, in regards to shutting down, look, again, we've stayed here before. I'm going to say it again. I want the economy to open. I want businesses to have the opportunity to sell their wares or sell their services. 100%. I just want it done safely. I want it done responsibly. That's the only thing that I'm asking for, guys.
And you can get groceries, and you can pick up stuff. Just do it like you said, responsibly. Have one person of the family go out there and get it. And if you can't, then do the best you can to stay away from other individuals while you're buying your groceries. I know that some people only have a female that plays a role of mother and father, and they have to take the kids because there's nobody at home to take care of them. But you know what? Be responsible. Get these kids their mask, and sometimes they won't leave them on. But if they can, just stay away from every individual. Go out there and get your essentials and go back home.
Is BIZ installing plexiglass for students and teachers if they're expected to return in the fall? They should. That's the model. It's not going to happen.
Good point.
There's no money.
There's never any money for anything that has to do to protect the students or for the.
That's the counselors.
Yeah, and we're going to actually into the counselors. Well, one of the other things that came up this week was the budget. Carlos, what did you think of the budget meeting?
It's a joke. It's a joke. I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is. I mean, we'll talk about it, I think, in depth right now. I mean, is this the time to do it?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm ready with my notes.
Okay, you want to start off, and I'll chime in. I mean, I got a lot of things to say, but I'll follow your lead, and then I'll jump in, Frankie.
In regards to the budget, again, just to summarize what was previously said, the district anticipates a loss of 1,300 students come this next school year. I think that's lowballing it. I think we are possibly going to lose anywhere from 15 to 2,000 students this coming year. As of right now, the district is expecting $357 million coming from the state. There are issues that I'm sure Carlos will talk about a little bit more. Diagnosticians, nurses, counselors, they're going to be put into an admin pay scale, which they are against, because that means that they would not get a raise in the future. So they're going to be moved from a different bracket compared to the teachers. Again, there's $84 million of maintenance fund in the budget before the $357 million come from the state. So it's very disheartening, guys. I always thought of Brownsville of BISD of being on a hill, so to speak. We have mentioned before how we have a district that is similar to a Fortune 500 company with a budget of $600 million, but yet our starting teachers for next year is going to be at 47,700. How can we be competitive with that rate? If we look at neighboring districts, I think San Benito is even a little bit, in the 47, 48 range compared to us, which, to me, it doesn't make sense at all. And one thing that bothers me, guys, is the hourly wage. The lowest manual staff is at $11.10. How can we make a living with $11.10 an hour? We talk about insurance, guys. Insurance is very expensive. So half, maybe 1/3 of the individual's paycheck is going towards, taxes, towards insurance. So, where's the cost of living in regards to that? The administrators, the super, they got a raise. Now the paralegals, the teachers, they're below market. But what about the administration? We're real top heavy in regards to that. And very quickly, guys, I do have a lot to talk about, but I'm going to summarize it very quickly. I think that the board members have three main roles in regards to running the district. One, evaluating a superintendent. Number two, setting an annual budget. And number three, setting policy. Right now, I think is not the right time to be top heavy, as Erasmo has previously mentioned. So what's going to happen if a new board comes in and wants to get rid of that top heavy? We have seen how many people have sued the district, unfortunately. So are we susceptible or liable for that? And one thing that bothers me, guys, is that the board does not run the district operations. I honestly think that the districts are managed by administration. So, personally, this administration has not been doing a good job of giving the confidence in the teachers, of having a good morale. So, Dr. Gutierrez had talked about there at the budget committee meeting, how he's going to be transparent. He's going to be posting the budget online, which I have yet to catch it, honestly. It's very unfortunate. We are a very large district that is not being competitive for our teachers. The teachers will only be receiving a 3% increase of $1,680, which I think they were complaining about them not even receiving that at the end. So again, we need to make counselors, diagnosticians, the same bracket as the teachers. They are the ones that are heavily involved with our students. They are more hands-on besides the teachers. So again, what message are we giving to the counselors? Oh, you're not important. You won't be receiving a raise in the near future. So I think that we should be addressing this issue, especially with our counselors and our diagnosticians in the very near future.
I agree with you. And see, just to you know come in on what you were saying, Frankie. What's happening right now is what they're doing is they completely took out the counselors, the diagnosticians, and they put them on this phase or a view, not even a step, it's just a column where they're going to be held out by themselves, right? So what happens with that is that they took them out of the step increases, so they're not going to get any step increases like they were before. Like teachers, teachers have a step increase depending on how far you're in with the district. That's depending on the ladder, that's how much you're going to get. And of course, if you have a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD, then that's how they'll pay you, right? And then your stipends come into play. The stipends weren't being they were being paid, but they were not being counted for the points on the TRS, right? So at the end of your retirement, if you had a stipend, those were not being calculated. So you're going to lose money if you were getting stipends in the old way. But what they're doing to the counselors now is that they put them out, just out on a limb. They don't care about them. They don't care about the diagnosticians. They don't care about nurses. And so what they did to just not represent these individuals was, okay, we're going to take you out instead of putting you in the administration, because the counselors were very vocal about that, and they called their board members, and the board members, okay, well, we're not going to do this. So that superintendent did a 180 with the two queens that he has, and they put something else into effect with the stupid idiot that's there as as I don't even know what his position is. The guy he brought in from Edinburgh, guy in the finance, right? The CFO. And so what he did is he did these numbers and kind of moved his hands like this. It creates some magic, and they screwed these individuals. So what they're going to do is they're going to take away all their raises, right? We're not going to get any raises. They're not going to get any step increases. No. They're not going to be represented in any way, form, or fashion to be able to get whatever they deserve, right? Because they're saying that they're making too much money. Depending on whose criteria or whose formula is beyond me. Who's making a lot of money is the superintendent. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So what they'll do is they're going to put these individuals, because Ida from AOB has been fighting for these people, and all she's doing is she's pulling straws, right, to get these individuals some representation, some money. I think they formally or non-formally agreed, because they haven't signed anything yet, is to get that stipend and put it under their base salary, right? So let's say the counselor comes in making, I'm going to use a number, and I'm not even, precise on that, is let's say they make 50,000, so their stipend is 45, so they're going to make 54,500, and they're going to add it as their base salary, so they'll carry that. That's the only way that they're going to be able to be compensated and to be held in a position to where they're going to be given a little bit more money, not because it's a raise, not because of anything else, but they're going to allow those 4,500 on their stipend if they don't lie, if the board doesn't lie, and if the CFO doesn't lie, the superintendent doesn't lie, and they're going to be able to accrue points on the TRS to be able to get those values once they retire. But yet they get no raise. They take off the step increase, which is huge for teachers, and no raises, but their insurance goes up.
So it's nothing. At the end of the day, guys,
it's nothing. If anything, they're going to be negative from where they started now. So the other is getting slapped in the face, but yet come in and work more, come in and do more, come in and make sure that the kids are where they need to be. Work from home, don't get paid, don't get the stipend, don't get the COVID monies that they were given to only teachers, but yet they force these individuals to continue to work, right?
Yeah. And again, guys,
it's stupid.
It's a blatant disregard in regards to the profession, guys. And let me tell you, and I've had numerous conversations with counselors out there, and counselors are very, very upset. And they have every right to be upset. statisticians as well. Very good friends of mine have been friends of mine even before I became a board member, and to this day. And they all say the same thing. It was just a complete disregard in regards to the profession, in regards to the hard work that all these individuals do, even before COVID 19, COVID 16, and COVID 10. I mean, they were out there busting their butts, to produce and to be out there for the students. But with that said, counselors, y'all remember back a year ago when Sylvia Atkinson was trying to move a lot of the numbers around, fudging around with the numbers and saying, "Oh well, we're going to increase the positions for counselors." And I went out there and I said, "Well, wait a minute. Where are we going to get the money in order to pay all these counselors?" "Oh no, it's there. It's there." It wasn't there. It wasn't.
No.
And when they did the study, then they said, "Oh, it's the ratio has to go down to 350, which where it should have been in some other time before." So again, guys, it's a constant bullcrap, lie. They never tell teachers, they never tell counselors, they'll never tell dietitians the truth about anything. And one of them, I had a conversation, a long conversation with one, and they were like, "Well, that's more." Again, they promised that they were going to look out for us. I go like, "Oh, really? How many times in the past have they said the same thing?" And every time they've said it is when they want to get elected. So if anyone out there wants to believe when Minerva and when little Eddie said, "No one's going to lose their job. You might just get moved. You might just be placed somewhere else. You might just lose your seniority." See, they forget to add all that stuff in there. You might just get sidestepped so your stipend becomes nothing. You might not get anything of the COVID-19 or the COVID-16 money that's coming, but you're not going to lose your job. So again, and I warn people, and guys, and my teachers and counselors that are here, you will know that I told you the truth. When the superintendent, when they had that meeting, and the superintendent said, and Minerva and little Eddie were very adamant to put it on the record, but nobody's going to lose their job, right, superintendent? And the superintendent said, no one's going to lose their job right now. Listen to what he's saying, folks. Listen to what he's saying. Listen in between the words. Of course, no one right there at the meeting was going to lose their job. Of course not. Of course, their world wasn't going to be turned upside down. Of course, they weren't going to be disrespected right then and there. But were they going to do it? Of course, they're going to do it. Now, why is it beneficial for the superintendent to give teachers that minimal $800 and some raise? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to turn out to. $800 a year. That's nothing. But guess what? They're going to base it on the 1,600 and average out that percentage. And he's going to get the exact percentage amount in regards to raise. So it only benefits him.
That's
Doesn't
right.
benefit anyone else. It benefits him. Because
Can I ask you all a question, guys?
his insurance is apart from the raise. Aparte, not the teachers. It's intertwined.
I want to ask to all our teacher friends on here, and you gentlemen, since y'all served on the board, every year teachers get a $750 step increase. Now, does the $1,680 or $1,600 on top of the step increase, or is that the $750 of the $1,600? Can y'all answer me that? Because every year teachers get $750. Now, is this $1,600 part of that $750?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to add it. I think what they want to do is what they want to do is which is what the local unions did before. They push for a step increase because that assures every teacher every year is going to get a little bit more money, right? On top, if they have good board members, they're going to say, you know what, we need to give these teachers a little bit more. The COLA, right? The cost of living increase, right? So, or adjustment. So what happens right now, I think what they want to do is they want to pull back on the step increases. And that's not the superintendent. That's the current board has to agree to that. They're the ones that, like you said, Frankie, they're the ones that approve the budget, approve policy, right?
Right.
They're the ones that are going to be held responsible for whether they give the teachers a raise or not, give the counselors a raise or not. And we know at this point in time, they're not going to do that. They're going to give them this little lollipop, to keep them, to hold them over to November when it matters. And then after November, guess what? So sorry, we can't do it. There's no money.
Should teachers get lower pay if students don't return for school? No, it's not teachers' fault. And now teachers are under contract. It's not teachers' fault. And look, guys, and this is part of the issue. As soon as they found out next
Definitely
year,
not. Definitely not.
definitely, as soon as we find out next year, guys, Javier, as soon as we find out next year in regards to enrollment, they're going to try and blame everyone, and everything under the sun. They're going to say, "Oh, Erasmo was being negative. Oh, Carlos was out there being negative. Oh, Frankie was being out there negative." They're going to blame everyone and anything under the sun. They need to accept responsibility that they have screwed this whole pandemic, this whole situation up from the get go, because they should have taken action way before spring break. They refused to. They shouldn't have been calling teachers and principals back in from spring break in the middle of spring break from their vacation, because they were out traveling and travel. And if they would have known anything about COVID-19 or 16 or 10, they would have known that individuals that were traveling were very, very successful. Actually, one of our first outbreaks here was the Rio Rancho Viejo kids who were out there traveling. So what did the stupid superintendent and corrupt board members do? In the middle of spring break, they called back the principals to come back from traveling and come into the main office for a meeting. Stupid. And then they had an emergency board meeting at Hannah's little auditorium out there, and it was packed. The Buchanan auditorium packed with people in the middle of the virus, the outbreak. Stupidity. They have no one to blame for the disasters that are coming to the district, the loss of students, the individuals not having trust and confidence in bringing the students back because of their stupidity. Because they didn't have to have graduation. They chose to have graduation. And guess what? We got positive numbers from graduation. They did not have to bring the kids back onto campus. They didn't have to bring the teachers back onto campus or the principals. And they decided to bring them back on por los suyos. And guess what? They got positives. They didn't have to bring in the band or the athletes for weight training. And guess what? They came back positive. So, and I don't care how many times stupid Charlie Atkinson, el amigo de Carlos Elizondo, I don't care how many times stupid Charlie Atkinson is out there saying, "Oh, no, Erasmo's lying, y como los demás estúpidos aquí también que andan con sus imbéciles estupideces. Que no, que lo... Shut up, Charlie. The only reason you have a job is because your Sylvia put you there. It's the same thing with Mary Tolman and Sandra Powers. The only reason they have high-paying $100,000 jobs is because of Sylvia. But guess what? She's gone, and she's going to fry. She's not coming back to the district. No way, shape, or form. And to all those people that helped her out in regards to pushing their narrative forward, guess what? She's going to flip on you idiots. Stupid. Imbéciles. Sorry, Carlos.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Just real quick on the counselors. Just like, of course, I'm sure everybody knows my counselor. My wife is a counselor. She's very offended, and and so are her colleagues, because these Edinburghs people keep saying that they're above market. How are counselors at BIZ above market? How is an individual from Edinburgh coming over here and saying that our counselors at BIZ are above market? But yet the superintendent got a raise, yet the superintendent got a extended contract, right? And what happens when you do that? He's gonna butter up his two little queens that work with him, the CFOs. I'm sure making it happen for them both, or all three of them, and then they're forcing these counselors, on getting these rankings for the transcripts, and they're forcing them to use there's this, I don't know what they call it, a marking period 4, and forcing them to get the GPA from that. They're forcing these counselors to do things that they're not supposed to be doing, yet they're claiming they're above market.
Look, guys, counselors, teachers, paraprofessionals, classified staff, everyone out there, everyone that works for BISD. I personally, I don't care if you like me or you dislike me, you hate me, you don't hate me, you despise me because you're a friend of Charlie. I don't care. You can hate me all you want, but ask yourself, did the superintendent deserve an extension to his contract? Just answer. Did the superintendent deserve an extension a 400,000 a year paying job, an extension to his contract for the horrible job that he's done, not even fulfilling a year on his contract, not even a year on his contract, did he merit a 1 year extension to his contract? And the answer is by anyone. Like me, not like me, not hate me. The answer is most definitely, absolutely, positively, no way.
You know what he merits?
Huh?
You know what he merits?
What does he merit?
A swift kick in the ass.
Swift kick in the butt. And the rest of the board. And let me tell you guys, for those people, because I got one person out there, well, Minerva didn't vote for it. Shut up. Stop being.
Yeah, Erasmo, abstaining from a vote is a vote for yes.
Yes, 100%. I mean, don't be dumb, guys.
Good point.
Minerva and little Eddie abstaining is a joke. It is exactly what Carlos says. It is a vote, yes, because it is not a vote, no. And let me tell you, they had no reason to abstain. There's no conflict of interest. Are they sleeping with a superintendent? Is that what's happening? Is Minerva and little Eddie getting it on with a superintendent that they had to abstain? Is
And
that
abstaining is when you have a conflict of interest.
exactamente?
When you have a
What
conflict
conflict of interest could there be? What conflict of interest? Again, I mean, are they getting it on? What? What? Why abstain? They abstain because it's election time and they want to have plausible deniability by saying, well, I abstain. You idiots. Little Eddie Minerva, you idiots. Abstaining is a yes, stupids, 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 stupids. Good point, Lupita. Removing them rock doesn't benefit the daily lives of citizens. Not in a bit. You can't, frankly, especially now that our jobs need to include hazard pay. It's not a raise. It isn't. But it's a raise for the superintendent. He's going to get some extra money from it, not the teachers. Teachers are going to get something very, very minimal. But they're all proud. Oh, we did a great job. And little Eddie, applauding the amazing work the superintendent did. What did he do? He gave himself a raise, little Eddie. He gave himself a raise. Have you read his contract, little Eddie? Have you, Minerva? I know you can't read. Did no one read you his contract? You imbecile.
Hey guys, throughout the budget meeting, they're talking about market value. My question is the superintendent at BISD paid above the market based on the size of our district?
No. Our teachers, our staff, they are way underpaid. 100%.
So then if that's the case, why is our superintendent getting more and more money? That doesn't please me. I don't understand.
Frankie, there's something's being palmed here, and I can't figure it out yet. But what happens is with TRS, it's the highest 3 years. So guess what? The superintendent has made deals, whether they're underneath the table or if someone knows or doesn't know, I don't know. But if he's given a raise on the backs of all the teachers of BISD, and he's given an extension of the contract without even meriting that extension to almost 400,000 plus his allowance for his driving his vehicle from Edinburgh down here every day. How is it that he can make that much money and screw every other individual of the school district when he has never lived in Brownsville? He doesn't care about our kids. He doesn't care about our BIZ employees. He doesn't care about our counselors, our nurses, our teachers, our diagnosticians. He gives a rat's ass about them. All he wants to do is be able to get 3 years of the highest pay that he's able to get out of Brownsville taxpayers
and then retire
and then get the hell out of here.
Damn, the step increase is always included. Never on top of the step increase. Sandra is correct. It is degrading. It is degrading. 100%. Teachers don't a step increase every year. I'm maxed out at the top, nowhere to go. That is very, very unfortunate. So there's no race whatsoever. There's nothing. But
no, they max out at 25 years, I think is what that step increase is. So what happens is that all you need is a board to come here and change that. The language is not set in stone. Oh, There's a pun intended, right? But it's not set in stone, Erasmo. You can make those changes. You just got to look back and see what you can do as a board, collective board, as a majority, and make those changes that benefit the individuals of the school district. That's how you can do it. What's happening right now is they're making these changes and these policies to benefit the minority, the people at the top, the people who are in people's pockets. That's what's happening. They don't care about anybody else because you know what they've been saying? You know what the board says and everybody else says is that teachers don't vote.
That's exactly
They have
right.
to come out and vote. In November, they have to come out and vote. And don't vote for the people that have been there for forever. Don't vote for people that are lying to you guys. You know, look at the individual and say, you know what, this guy's been talking, this guy's been doing, this guy's going to do something for us. And vote for those individuals.
Look, what Carlos just said is so very true, guys. And let me tell you, I've heard it. They don't care. They don't care that they screw the teachers over. They don't care that they screw the counselors over. They don't care that they screw the diagnosticians, the classified personnel. And you know why? Because what Carlos says is something that they say. Teachers don't vote, so they don't care. And let me tell you guys, there's some truth to it. A lot of teachers don't go out and vote. They don't go out and vote. Teachers, I'm going to say something that's very self-serving out there. I won last election that I ran for. The highest number of votes, the highest percentage, without your help. Without your help. You have the opportunity to change the board completely. Completely. And all we need for you to do is to come out and vote. And not only come out and vote, bring your family out to vote, bring your friends out to vote, bring everyone out to vote. And together, we can make them pay for the disregard, the minimalization, the anxiety that they've caused you in the past couple of months because they only care about Sylvia Atkinson. That's the only person they care about. Minerva, Prissy, Drew, Flip-Floppy Philip, and little Eddie. All they want to do is put money in Sylvia's pocket because she's going through a trial. And now, to make it even worse, now you are having to pay for their attorneys.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Now you are going to pay for their attorneys.
Let's talk about that. That boggles my mind. That's crazy.
Ooh, man, if I had hair, it would have fallen off with that one.
You know, very quickly, guys, and I know we could come back to the teachers, the step, and the you know the budget. The way it was, the language it was read in regards to the representation was very vague, and we don't know exactly what was agreed upon because most of it was this, or everything was discussed in executive session in regards to hiring representation for, which leads me to believe for the board members. Now, are we talking about hiring representation for Sylvia Atkinson's civil removal case, or are we talking about Sylvia Atkinson's potential jury criminal trial with the federal government? So I wanted to ask y'all for y'all's opinion in regards to this, because I was left scratching my head saying, what are they talking about? Do they mean the civil case, the removal? Are they gonna is the district attorney Luis Science going to call Patricia Roca-Tipton, Drew Brown, possibly other school board members to come and testify in regards to a removal? Or are we talking about the federal case where possibly these individuals will either testify against Sylvia Atkinson?
I'm going to dare say both. But first of all, the first one is going to be again the first one. That's why they were so vague about it. The first one is I'm going to bet Carlos' last bottom dollar. I'm going to guarantee you that one of the reasons out there, one of the things that Luis Sainz did, and again I know because I went through it, is he's going to subpoena every single board member in regards to Sylvia. He's going to subpoena every single board member in regards to Sylvia, which is a good thing. But what I'm trying to say is, who's going to represent them? They don't want to pay for their own attorney. Carlos, through all his process, had to pay for his own attorney. And Erasmo, through his whole process, had to get his own attorney as well. They don't want to get their own attorney. They want you, the taxpayer, you teachers, you counselors, they want you to pay because they turned a blind eye to Sylvia, stealing your money, stealing your resources. 100%. Now, could it also be tied to the federal case? I would dare say yes. I'm almost more sure that it's more the state. But with that said, probably is both.
Well, see, they shouldn't be paying for anything. The taxpayers I'm talking about. The taxpayers didn't force her to go over there and make deals with an FBI agent. The taxpayers didn't go over there and force her to take money from the school district and put it in her pocket. The taxpayers did not force her to do biddings, you know, to benefit herself. So if that's the case, I am just I'm I'm floored, Frankie. I'm floored. I didn't even know that that was going on or that was even on the table.
It was on the agenda.
It was
Last page, last item.
that the little money that I bring home that I have to pay taxes on to go to defend this individual
Yep.
for what
Individuals.
or individuals.
The corrupt,
Believe me,
the
believe
corrupt.
me, there is no way in hell that I'm gonna sit idle if that's the case. None of those boards, if they vote on defending this individual or hiring her legal representation on my back or my kid's back or the school district's back or every individual that goes over there and busts their ass on a daily basis to go into the school district because they're being forced to be put there by this current board and this current superintendent, by all means, I am gonna make up a lot of noise, man. This
It
is
was
a
passed, if I'm not mistaken, Erasmo.
What?
It was passed, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it passed unanimous.
It's been approved already. So again, this leads me to believe, why are we doing this? If we didn't do it for Erasmo, if we didn't do it for Carlos, if we didn't do it for any other board member, what's so different now? That leads me to believe that Sylvia Atkinson still has control, still manipulates the board to this day. One would think, hey, she's got a civil case, she's got a federal case. Her mind is locked up in her, her in litigation. But again, they are trying to protect the board as much as possible at the expense of the community's of the taxpayers' money. Which, come on, that like pícame los ojos, like come on, like. And then they waited at the very end. They went into executive session for God knows how long. Came back when the public was asleep, when the individuals there at the Glass Palace, probably weren't there. So again, it seems very shady, guys. It seems very shady for us to having to pick up the tab for attorneys, and attorneys are very expensive. They're very, very expensive at the taxpayers' cost. That's not right.
The only thing I'm thinking of now, with this, if that's the case, because you guys are saying it was very vague, and I'm not even aware of what's going on with in that particular case, but if they are willing to vote to represent Sylvia in her personal legal battles, then obviously Sylvia Atkinson has something on those individuals that voted for that representation. I mean, that's what that leads me to believe. We need to hire someone to protect her so that eventually it'll protect us being the current board. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what you think. That's what I hear. I mean, I am floored by that. There is no way in hell that any individual that pays taxes to the district should be responsible for paying for the legal battles for this individual because of what she did.
Well, not only what she did, of what they helped her do. So again, this board, Minerva, Prissy, Drew, Flip Flop, Philip, Little Eddie, and Laura also. And so these individuals, they're going to get an attorney paid for by the district, by the taxpayer dollars, because they turned a blind eye, because they voted with Sylvia Atkinson. They supported Sylvia Atkinson. Sylvia Atkinson still controls the board, still has conversations with stupid Drew or with unethical Prissy, the one that's out there trying to get her little vendors into Texas Southmost College, which the Texas Southmost College president said was blatant corruption. I mean, and aparte de eso, we're putting the bill for their attorneys. No, but shut up. They said,
shut up.
Shut up. We are over marketed because we make more money, but we have a master's degree and decided to further our degree. Of course, more
That's
degree,
crazy.
more money, you should get paid. Let me tell you, there is no way in hell our teachers, our staff, our personnel are over market. There's no way. The only one that's over market is the superintendent, his deputies, and the area administrators. The only ones that are over market.
And the CFO.
And yeah, CFO and everyone else you brought in, the employee benefits director, all of them, because he put in his buddies in the position, paid him a good amount of money. Charlie Atkinson looks like he makes good money. Uh, Charlie Atkinson is trash. I'm sorry, Carlos, talk about your friend. Great show tonight, guys. Well, God bless you, Audie. Good job. Thank you for being here. It'll be that. No, it's not done for Forest New Board, but the one the contract in the new one. Yes, teachers don't get 7,550 every year. They sure don't.
No, they don't.
Yes, the years we haven't received a raise, we did get a step increase. I check every September when I get paid. Wow.
Let me tell you one thing, Erasmo. Let's say they do get a raise, but they're going to force these teachers to go and buy all the supplies to be able to combat this COVID-19 or 16 for the school district, right? But they're also going to be able to use that money that they got to buy, glue and paper and all this other stuff they used to teach these kids. So the teachers are not going to get a raise.
No.
They're going to get more money to be able to put back into their classrooms.
And you know whose fault it is?
The superintendent and the board members.
Sylvia!
I knew it was coming.
The students at the districts, this idea has opened, so this pay should be based on number of student ratio. Let me tell you guys, if that be a disservice to our teachers, it's not the teachers' fault that our district is going to be losing students. Someone asked a question in regards to how IDEA is going to start the year off. We really don't know. We will have one of the directors of IDEA on this week. So we'll ask to see what IDEA is planning to do this year in regards to starting the school. But I'm going to imagine they're going to be having the same issues and the same dilemmas that all districts have. I mean, the only difference is that right now they don't have a CFO because they got busted, buying
Gets tickets to Spurs.
basketball tickets and flights on private jets, and still left with $900,000. But again, that's something allá arriba. It doesn't affect us. The issue that we have is that our superintendent and our corrupt board members that we have right now, they affect your pocket directly.
I just got a text at Erasmo that IDEA is expecting class in person, giving parents the choice. If any IDEA campus is over 50%, then it's A and B rotation. Distant learning is a contingency as of right now.
1.5 miles for 4 years. I vote, sir. Most of my colleagues do, but I keep hearing a lot of teachers don't vote. Well, that's why we can motivate them to come out and vote. What is the same thing happened with him? It happened to last superintendent. They pay them more, then pay him to leave. And let me tell you, we have, Primo, we have an amazing budget per year. We have attorneys coming out of our nostrils at the district. There is no reason why this superintendent cannot get terminated on the spot for failing at his duties. There's no reason. There's
can't anymore because they gave him another year.
Exactamente. There's
They forced him. If the new board comes in here and tries to get rid of him just like that, he is going to sue the district for more money than is owed to him.
Yes, and that
someone sent this to me, and it says discussion, consideration, and possible action to hire counsel for representation. What representation? We don't know yet, right? But it says who brought it to the table? Cowan, Garcia, approved hire counsel rep as discussed in executive session. 5 people voted. 1 person abstained. Drew Brown voted yes. Eddie Garcia voted yes. Laura Perez Reyes voted yes. Philip Cowan voted yes. Prissy Roca Tipton voted yes. And Minerva Peña abstained. So it's a yes. So the school district, anybody out there listening, you guys are getting screwed.
And going back into David's question, David,
Jeez.
there's no reason for him to not be terminated on the spot because he has failed the district horribly. But guess what? Now that this corrupt board, has extended his contract by a year, now he gets to go into court and say, what? Hey, they thought I was doing a good job.
That's exactly right.
They thought I was doing a good job. So guess what? Now he has a lawsuit. They gave him the opportunity. Listen, teachers, they gave him the opportunity to file a lawsuit that has an ounce of merit because they voted to extend his contract in a sign of approval of the job that he was doing. And is anyone out there, any teacher, anyone that works for a district, does anyone approve of the job that the superintendent is doing? Anyone? 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 No, the only people. Oh, Carlos. Besides Carlos,
Absolutely.
the other people.
Absolutely not.
The only other people.
I can't do the swat, but if I could, I would.
The only people that think he's doing a good job is this corrupt board and Sylvia Atkinson.
You know what they should do? They should give the teachers an extension to their contract for 2 or 3 years.
Exactamente. The same way.
They're the ones busting their ass. They're
Yeah.
the ones going out there and doing what nobody else wants to do.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
And getting hit left and right, being forced to do things that they're not supposed to be doing under the circumstances that we're in right now. And yet the superintendent gets an extension to a already
Exuberant contract.
contract.
Every teacher must vote. Every teacher, Erasmo, Frankie, Carlos will be as deep. Thank you. Appreciate that. What place is Carlos running for and what place are you running for? I've already said, I'm not speaking for anyone here. I've already said I'm hitting an incumbent. And no, little Eddie, you're not an incumbent. You're not even worth my time, bro. But I am going to run against an incumbent because I like a fight. So whoever decides to run again, if Sylvia wants to run again, guess what? If Minerva wants to run again, guess what? If Philip wants to run again, well, guess what? But I will run against an incumbent. I refuse to run for an empty seat. Refuse. I want the fight. And I want to make sure that people, they decide. And if you choose to vote for Sylvia instead of me, I have no issue. I'm okay. If you choose to vote for Minerva, la penguina, instead of me, it's your call. If you choose to vote for flip-flopping Philip instead of me, allá ustedes. Go have them for another 4 years. See how that works out for our children here at the district. See how that works out for our students. So I'll speak for me. I'm running against an incumbent. I'm not going to take the easy route in any way, shape, or form. And no, little Eddie, you're not an incumbent. You were appointed by a corrupt board. Appointed like everybody else here gets appointed because you're related to people because of your connections, you idiot. They're tired. They were ecstatic. You resigned from the police force because they pushed you out. Goodness gracious. It's called job protection. Come on, teachers, vote. Claudio Gonzalez, exactly. That's one of the things I emphasized when I spoke last summer. We speak up, we vote, but we still get the shaft. Even worse, we're considered troublemakers. You're a little bit of troublemaker, Sandra, but I still love you.
Sandra.
Los maestros que no votan, entonces que no estén llorando ahí, mandatos de an anonymous message llorando que los defiendas. Exactamente. That's wrong. I didn't hear them vote for any raise yet, just proposals. Mm-hmm. It's a done deal, Lupita. Done deal. Ya estaba Sylvia Atkinson, la alapona. I can't afford an attorney for myself. No one can, but they can't either apparently because now they got attorneys paid by us.
Join AMD, they'll help you pay for one.
So is that a done deal, or can we vote against the hiring of attorneys? They already voted, Patty. They have voted unanimously to hire attorneys to represent them against Sylvia Atkinson in Sylvia Atkinson's court case. So again, the district gets screwed again. More money, more money, more money, more money. And no one is here. Julian Josa, I don't work. I'm a bum at home. You do a good job, Alonso. Is Carlos running? It's a good question for Carlos. If our tax dollars through BISD pays for the board legal fees, can we request information from BISD? You can request it, but what's going to happen is they're going to submit it to Attorney General opinion, and it's going to take months, and by then they'll probably be out of office already.
That's right.
So, is it the rules for what items can be discussed in executive session? Not according to, not when you have a corrupt board attorney that, again, that told Sylvia Atkinson and Presi Roca Tipton that they didn't have to abstain from voting to give money to TSC. That has called everything lopsided, that puts money into his pocket and the board member's pocket that control him. So there's no rules whatsoever. I don't know what that is. Yes, good job. The step is not a raise; it's just a year's worth of experience, and that gets capped. Y la Rock se quedó. Qué bueno que ya no soy teacher. Ni modo, Miguel. My baby was playing with her toys, and all of a sudden got startled when you yelled, "Sylvia!" Hope you had a great day. I did. Thank you, Carlos. I hope you had a good day too, my man. And then they have to pay off his contract again. That's part of the issue. Sylvia! You got my vote. Love you, man.
Me cae el último pelo que tenía Erasmo, ya valió.
Love you, Miguel. Gracias, Miguel. So out of 5 members whose position are up for election, how many of those are running for their positions? Again, Minerva is going to run. Sylvia, if she doesn't get convicted by then, she's going to run. Philip is going to run. Laura will not run because she's going to run for the district clerk position. She cannot be on 2 ballots on the same day. Little Eddie's going to run, but he is not seeking re-election. He never got elected. He was appointed by the corrupt board. An appointed guy. Like he's been appointed to every other thing that he's gone because of his connections with his family. If it wasn't for his family, he's another Charlie Atkinson. Little Eddie and Charlie Atkinson have a lot in common. If it wasn't for their sister, their family members, they wouldn't be where they are today. What a shame. Hey, at least Carlos won his election. And Erasmo won his election. Little Eddie got appointed. Gets appointed to everything. Free ride. It is what it is. Why can't the board attorney already represent them? Because he has to give money out to his buddies. As they spread the wealth.
Not only that, if the board attorney had to represent them, that's still taxpayers' money paying for their representation. This has nothing to do with BISD. BISD should not flip the bill for their actions. I mean, it's like a bank robber. It's like a bank robber going to rob the bank, and then the bank has to represent him because he got thrown in jail. Come on.
Swaswa! Update on Presi at TSC. TSC is not going to do a damn thing.
She still has a job there. She's still
because they have Adela Garza there. Adela Garza has always protected Sylvia. Adela Garza will always protect the little Presi. It's a mafia. Eddie, the twerp Garcia, little Eddie, ready to block walking for Erasmo. Love you. Mwah. Where's the penguin? La mendiga Minerva penguin. You got my vote, brother. Love you, man. Vamos por la barbacha mañana. Yeah, man. Hope to see you there. La penguin. Thank you, Rod. Love you, man. Surely she will be convicted. Oh, there's no doubt in my head. Let me tell you guys. I get this a lot because, Carlos, this is one of the things that she uses. She tries to instill fear into the district by saying that she's going to get off. She's not going to get off. She's going
like to Hitler.
Fry.
It's like what did Hitler do? Instill fear on everybody.
Fear. That's all she wants to do. She wants to instill fear in my people. She is going to fry.
And what happened to Hitler?
Huh?
And what happened to Hitler?
She's going to fry. No doubt. I have no doubt. My dogs hates it when you scream Sylvia and gets all yappy. Tengo que traer los earphones. Ponle earphones al perrito y los eggs de Minerva. Pues tiene más que el little flip-flopping Philip. Protest to gut Erasmo back on the board. Preach, Rich. Are all 3 of you running? I said I'm running. And let me tell you, I'm not running against an empty seat. I'm running against an incumbent because I like it hard. Guys, have a great evening. Carlos, any last words?
Stay safe out there. Remember November. That's all I gotta say. Remember November, man.
Shout
Teachers
out
need
to,
to go out and vote.
shout out to Mandy Valero. Frankie, any last words?
Guys, in regards to teacher pay increase, it's unfortunate that in my opinion, I feel that this board is trying to appease certain individuals just to say, "Hey, look what I did for you. I'm up for reelection." You know, we are not taking care of our diagnosticians, of our counselors, of our nurses, the ones who are heavily invested in our students, and that's a big disservice to our community and to our district. In regards to the step, instead of giving this $1,600, which they're only going to receive 700 to 800 of this money, why doesn't the school board? Why doesn't the school board members add more steps to the compensation plan?
That's right.
That's something that would help. I believe there was 2 or 3 teachers said that she was maxed out. There were several teachers here that said, "Hey, I'm maxed out. I can no longer get a raise." Why doesn't the board look into this? Why don't they say, "Hey, you know what? Instead of doing this 1,600, which they're only going to get 700, 800, and then include the insurance on top of that, so you deduct a little bit more money off of that. Why don't we add more steps to the compensation plan instead of it being 25, instead of it being 30? Why don't we make it 40? Why don't we make it competitive to where these teachers want to be learning? You know what I mean? We are doing a disservice to these teachers and saying, you know what? You do not have seniority no more. You are capped off. We should be encouraging, motivating teachers because they are the ones that are taking care of our most valuable possessions, our students. That's what we should be focusing on increasing the starting pay for teachers, making BISD the place to work, because I believe in the teachers. I believe in the diagnosticians. I believe in the counselors. It's unfortunate that this school board doesn't. So what should happen is we should focus on adding steps to the compensation plan. We should focus on making and I may be throwing out this crazy number, making $50K the starting pay. Make it competitive. Let's take the best teachers from McAllen, from Edinburgh. We want the best teachers, and BISD does have the best teachers. So we need to do our best to make sure that they're happy and not focus so much on administration and superintendent who's only here for a paycheck, come 3 years, and he's out. Let's focus on the individuals who are going to be here for the long haul. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
And Frankie, just real quick, you know why they kept it at 25? Because the longer you're there, the more you're going to cost the district. But these teachers have given their life to educate our kids. They should be compensated. The longer they stay, they should be making more. So what they do is they kept them at 25 so they can force them to retire and bring in someone that's brand new that's going to cost them $30,000, $40,000. So they're doing a disservice to these individuals that have dedicated their lives to educating our kids, hundreds and hundreds of kids through their lifetime. So they should be compensated for being there the longest. They should be given more money to be able to educate thousands of our kids. They should be considered the jewel of the school district. They should be respected in that sense. And you are 100% correct. The longer you stay, the more you should make. They should not cap it at 25. They should give these individuals the money that they deserve for being there and taking the abuse of this, not only this current board, but many other boards before this, and they should be compensated adequately for staying there that long. That's what they should be getting. Right now, they're not getting that. Right now, they're getting a slap in the face, and they only care about the superintendent and their circle, their immediate circle.
And that's such a shame. That's such a shame.
What they deserve. Give them the amount to be able to take home and retire when they choose to retire. Not when the school district gives them a $10,000 retirement, bone. If you retire now, we'll give you 10 grand to get the hell out of here because you're costing us too much money. They should give them the ability and the respect that they deserve to be able to retire when they feel it's time to leave.
And because new teachers are cheaper than experienced teachers. Guys,
they're not above market.
Yeah. Guys, We've been out here for an hour and a half. We probably stay on for another hour. Swah, swah! Guys,
Ya la trae muy sasua.
Lonnie, you're amazing. Love you, Lonnie.
See, Lonnie's one of them.
10 years
Lonnie's
ago,
one
I'm
of
still
them.
not making this. Look, I came down from GC CISD 10 years ago, and I'm still not making the starting pay I had over there. That is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's very unfortunate, and it's very, very true. I gave BIZ 50 years, and I'm at 29. God bless you, Elsa. I've been there for a teacher for 33 years. Deserve much more than the first year. 100%, Senator.
That's exactly right.
100%. That's right, Carlos. We've been abused by many, many boards. True, Frankie, Carlos, true. Yes, Mr. Carlos, yes. I was going through random Facebook Live videos. Rafael, gusto saludarte. Not to mention the tons of times work outputs under required. Guys, have a great rest of the weekend. We won't be here tomorrow morning, but we will be tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We should have doctor's name.
Happy Father's Day to everybody that's out there that's a father, and happy Father's Day to every mother who's a father.
Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. Guys, we'll have a mental health doctor on with us tomorrow. I can't remember his name. I think Frankie's turned out a little bit, but spacing out. Maybe he's not hearing.
He's faced next.
He's lost it.
Dr. Wittenberg, Dr. James Wittenberg will be on with us tomorrow, and we're excited. Tomorrow we'll be announcing our scholarship. Brownsville Talk will be giving away $1,000 to $500 scholarships to students. So again, what other broadcasting news agency is doing this? Only Brownsville Talk, because we care about our community and we care about our students. So tune in tomorrow, guys.
Yes, guys, have a great one. Great evening. Again, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Please be here. Guys, God bless. Take care. Hasta pronto. Saludos, JD Luna.